We're serious about expanding what we do.
The value advantage clearly remains with Nintendo.
Nintendo's revolution. We remain all about the game, all about you.
Actions speak louder than words.
My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass. I'm about taking names. And we're about making games. My name is Reggie.
And my name is Iwata. I'm about making games. And I'm about playing games. Last night, I played Super Smash Brothers. That's my game. I kicked some you-know-what. And I took his name. His name was Reggie. As Nintendo president, I'm also all about asking questions. So, Reggie, I have a question for you. Who's your daddy?
Good morning and welcome. As we at Nintendo continue to explore the future of video games. Today, that journey includes details on a new form of gameplay on Nintendo DS. The first meaningful information about Nintendo Revolution, and the latest incarnation of a legend. Yes, I think you know which legend I'm talking about. Now, I know many of you today walked in with numbers already swimming in your heads. 360, 16 by 9, 1080, 8.2 gigahertz. Well, we'd like to add one more number to the mix, and that number is 2. As in 2 billion games. That's the number of games Nintendo has sold since we entered this business 20 years ago. Some people might call that a great run. I'm here today to tell you we call it a great beginning. Because if If you're ready to move beyond pure numbers to a place where your right brain can envision the best in innovation and the best in gameplay improvement, well, you've come to the right place. What we've got for you today are previews of game experiences which represent both the highest quality and the most diverse catalog in our history. The key here are two little words: the word or, the word and. Nintendo is not an or company with games devoted just to this group or that group. We're an and company, games for this group and that group, and for groups that don't even call themselves gamers yet. For 2 decades, our mission has been not to just play the game, but to change the game. The NES changed the game. Game Boy changed the game. Donkey Kong Country changed the game. Super Mario 64 changed the game. And Nintendo DS changed the game. And more extraordinary change is on the way. Nintendo occupies a unique position in our industry. We are one of the top 2 game system manufacturers in the world, and one of the top 2 game publishers in the world. As a result, we look at gaming from 2 different perspectives at the same time. As game creators, we can't complain that they aren't giving us enough technology to work with. As manufacturers, we can't argue that they aren't creating games that optimize our technology. They are us. So let me clarify this for a minute, how we look at it internally. Nintendo remains first and foremost a content company. We exist for the love of the game. We're about the levels, the characters, the interface, about the entertainment. We're about reaching what's known and going to the unknown. This is the place where the right brain goes to play. Today, you'll see a new game dimension on Nintendo DS. Today, you'll begin to understand how our revolution is preparing to storm the gates. But most of all, what you'll see today are the first steps in delivering our next billion games. For 16 years, Nintendo has owned the portable game space. We created it, and we're not moving out. Let me begin by putting a couple things in perspective. Most people would say the top-selling game machine of this generation is the PS2, with just over 28 million units sold in America. But guess what? They've got company. Game Boy Advance has also sold more than 28 million units in America, even though it launched 8 full months after the PS2. Consider this. Both the Nintendo DS and Sony PSP made their worldwide debuts just before the holidays last year. To date, global sell-through for Nintendo DS stands at over 5 million, or more than twice the level for the PSP. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, the PSP hasn't arrived in Europe yet. So we got there when we said we would, and they didn't. You know what? That's Sony's issue, not my problem. And now that DS owners have explored PictoChat, played the Metroid Prime Hunters pack-in, and seen what all their GBA games look like on the DS, software sales are skyrocketing. Monthly tie ratios were up to 4-to-1 in March, better than twice what the PSP's is. Finally, let's put all combined sales for all currently available portables up on the screen. Lifetime sales of GBA and DS versus everybody else. This is what the market looks like right now. All in all, I call this a pretty picture. So enough numbers. Let's move over to your right brains, way over into your right brains, to talk about an application for Nintendo DS that doesn't just create its own genre. In fact, it may not technically be a game at all, because Electroplankton should more accurately be considered a creative tool, something that not everybody will understand, but many who do are mesmerized. They can't put it down, because for them, creating is at least as much fun as competing. It's an excellent example of new kinds of software that reach out and attract people who don't even consider themselves gamers yet. To show its potential, we took Electroplankton to David Hollins, a man who's raised the job of DJ into an art form, who's the musical director of the award-winning De La Guardia phenomenon off-Broadway, and who's taken his sound from the Indiana farm fields to London, Barcelona, and Moscow.
My name is David Hollins. I live in New York City. I'm a DJ here. I think I've got the best job in the world. I get to go to all the great parties, play music for people. Although most of my gigs are probably here in the US, I do a lot of international traveling. I don't know, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I've been gaming since, I think, the beginning. I'm probably 6 or 7 years old. We got our first little home unit with like Pong and stuff. And now, Nintendo has this Electroplankton game. It's not a goal-oriented game where you have to go do something. It's more of an interactive art and music device where you manipulate these bioluminescent fish underwater. And they had behavior patterns that I could control, and depending on what I told them to do, they would make sound back to me. One of the great things that I've found about working with Electroplankton in the studio is the sounds are fantastic. There's a rich palette of sounds. They've got really nice bass sounds, high clicking sounds, which are great for percussion, and the overall just warmness of some of the pianos and the other synth sounds are in there were fantastic for implementing into my studio environment. And I was able to make the track completely with just the sounds from the unit. I didn't have to add anything else. This entire experience has been just fantastic. I was thinking in my head, what am I going to do to make a song for a video game? But this isn't it at all. I'm making a song from a video game. I'm having this device give me sounds and just letting that and those sounds take me where I want to go musically. And I mean, I would do this again in a heartbeat. It's been amazing, really, really hot.
Wow. In fact, David liked this so much that he decided to show off his final product in person. Please welcome David Hollins.
Hey, Reggie. What's up?
I love that move. So, David, I understand you brought something to share with us. What have you got?
I did. When Nintendo asked me to make some music for this, I thought I'd be taking some of my music or tracks and putting on some sounds from the Electroplankton game. But once I got inside, I found the sounds were amazing, they were warm, and I was able to compose the entire tracks using just the sounds from the unit.
Well, that's great. Well, why don't you play it for us?
All right. Let's see what we've got. Thanks a lot, Reggie. Keep working on those moves.
What's that?
Keep working on those moves.
Thanks, David. Well, we know more creativity means more fun. We also know more people means more fun, especially if you're connecting them around the world. It's no secret that we didn't invent the concept of online gaming, but we do intend to reinvent it. This is the year that Nintendo players begin connecting with each other in a new way through Wi-Fi internet. We recently announced our first Western partner in creating a groundbreaking infrastructure called Nintendo Wi-Fi Connection. That partner is GameSpy, the global leader in connecting online players at a distance. Finding rivals with Nintendo Wi-Fi Connection occurs on two distinct levels. If you choose, you will find only the friend or friends you want to compete with. This level may be most appropriate for certain kinds of games and certain kinds of players. The second will offer links to similarly skilled unknown opponents. This dual connection system also represents the first foray by GameSpy marrying a portable game system with hotspots around the world. Now, just as important as the technology is the interface. This will be as simple and intuitive as every other aspect of DS play. And the payoff will be considerable. Where current online game services now see a small fraction of owners sticking with online play, we expect the participation rate for Nintendo DS to reflect a clear majority of owners. In fact, we see no reason why that participation rate can't reach as high as 90%. Here's why. Our wireless solution tackles three of the main challenges which so far have prevented meaningful expansion of console online play. Obviously, a broadband line is not required, and we're making access even more appealing because we're not assessing an additional charge to make our wireless connection. That means free outside the house via hotspots and free inside the house through your existing wireless router or USB connection. Second, users won't face monthly gameplay bills. As far as Nintendo is concerned, they won't face any added charges at all to play first-party games wirelessly. And finally, we're working to overcome the overly macho nature of the current online console game world, where a handful of the high-testosterone crowd fight for supremacy while the mass of casual game players stay away. You see, it's about control, ease, and entertainment. And we envision using your DS to turn the key for full Mario Kart action, racing against multiple opponents, all located on different continents, while sitting on your lunch break or waiting for your plane to board. We will make Wi-Fi internet play as welcoming as sitting around the living room with a bunch of your friends. And this is a comfortable proposition for developers as well. Around the world, 25 independent publishers are already at work on DS Wi-Fi games, including Activision, Bandai, Capcom, Electronic Arts, Konami, Namco, Sega, THQ, Ubisoft, Vivendi, and Square Enix. Let me finish with something more specific. We intend for you to be playing Mario Kart DS and Animal Crossing DS, both by DS Wireless Internet, and both by the end of this year. Now, one more powerful franchise is in the mix. By year-end, grinders will also be playing the first combination LAN Wi-Fi Tony Hawk game, custom designed by Activision for DS. Its online community allows players to form their own skate crews, and the touchscreen makes tricks easier for everyone. And for those who can't wait that long, you'll test drive Mario Kart DS on Wi-Fi internet tomorrow on the show floor. Now, before we move beyond the portable space, I want to talk about two more examples of how we're using portable gaming to expand the total universe of game players. The first is Mr. Miyamoto's latest pet project, Nintendogs. And it's taught the Japanese game world to sit up and take notice. It received a rare perfect score from Famitsu, and it's being overwhelmingly voted best in show by Japanese gamers. It remains the top-selling game franchise in Japan, with more than 400,000 copies having sold through in less than a month's time. And as always the case, hit software sells hardware, and this case is no different. The launch of Nintendogs was responsible for making Nintendo DS the best-selling game system in Japan. In fact, selling more than 3 times the rate of the PSP. Yes, those cute puppy faces have the game blogs panting and slobbering. But behind those looks lies the heart of a very sophisticated piece of design. We thought maybe an outside perspective would help illustrate. So we've given an advanced copy of the US version to Tina Wood, host of GTV.com, the hit interactive show on G4 Video Game TV. And she joins us here today to help put her puppy through its paces. So please welcome Tina Wood.
Woo! This is so exciting, Reggie. I'm so excited to play Nintendogs today. I have really been training my dog really hard for the last couple days, and I'm so curious to see how she's going to do this morning.
Well, that's great. Let's see what she's going to do.
All right, let's wake this puppy up. Let's go. Here we go. All right. Now, the first thing you have to do in Nintendogs is go to the kennel and pick out your dog. So I picked out a pug. She's a girl. I named her Mia. I want to introduce you guys to Mia. And you let me know how cute that you think she is, because I think she's adorable. Oh, there you are, girl. Oh, playing fun for the audience. Come here, girl. Come here, Mia. Hi. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Mia. Now, the first thing you want to do before you start training your dog is show it a little bit of love, right? Okay, can you say hi? Say hi. Good girl, that's my girl. Yes. Lay down. Oh, good girl, Mia. Now, these tricks are fine, but what's great about this is that you can actually name the tricks anything you want. So I thought I'd have a little bit of fun. New Zelda. No, I know you haven't seen the new trailer. New Zelda. New Zelda. New Zelda. All right, let's try this. Every dog has a nemesis. Let's try this one. Come here, Mia, come here. I know, they're gonna write really nice things about you. She's mad that Link's been getting all the attention. I know. Come here, come here. Ready? Here we go, let's try this one. Ganon. Ganon. You get him, Mia, you get him. Good girl, very good. All right, well, after you train your dog, you gotta have a little bit of fun with her as well, right? So Nintendo was kind enough to loan me a little Mario Kart. And I'm gonna actually get to control it with my A button. So let's have a little bit of fun with Mia. Hey, girl. Woo, come on. Oh, do you guys recognize that music? There you go. Oh, no, don't be scared. Awesome. All right, now I'm hoping Mia's gonna score a little bit later on, so I'm actually gonna give her a bath, let her smell really nice. Go into my supplies, go into my care section, and I actually spent some good money on some good shampoo. So we're gonna actually make Mia smell real good right about now. I know, it's a little bit embarrassing. You're really naked right now. Oh, there you go, girl. Get those suds on there. Oh, she loves that. Now we're gonna rinse her off. Come here, girl. Good job, Mia, you're doing great. You're doing great. All right, so now that our bath is over, one of the most innovative aspects of Nintendogs is the bark mode. Now this mode uses wireless technology to search for another dog that Mia can play with. So let's see how this works. We're gonna actually go to our link. And it says, do I wanna search for a friend for Mia to play with? Absolutely. Mia's a little flirt, but I taught her well. Here we go. Would you like to have Mia bring one of your supplies? Absolutely not. I worked very hard to get Mia's supplies. We're not gonna give any of those up just yet. Do you wanna turn the DS wireless function on and search for a link partner? Yes, I do. Now I'm actually gonna shut this, and hopefully we're gonna hear a bark. Maybe somebody out there brought Nintendogs with them. And if they did, what we're gonna do is Mia and that other dog are actually gonna converse and get an opportunity to play with each other. That's the bark. So somebody wants to join Mia. Let's see who it is. It looks like Mia has found somebody. Let's see. I'm sure one of you fine journalists brought your Nintendo DS. Bill's dog Mario has come to play. Oh. And also says I've received a voice message from Bill. So Bill actually sent me a gift. Let's listen.
Tina, do you want to play?
It said, Tina, would you like to play? I would absolutely love to play.
Do you want to play?
My one question is, who would have a puppy with a Mario hat on? Woo!
Tina, I want to know, how do you like my Nintendogs?
Mr. Miyamoto, I am a huge fan of your Nintendogs. I hope you're not mad that I was showing it off, but Reggie actually made me do it, so.
No, it's all right. Even serious gamers should have fun with their puppies.
Absolutely.
Right now, my Shiba Mario is teaching your pug Mia some new tricks.
I see that. She's doing very, very well, actually.
Yeah. She's quite happy.
Well, Mr. Miyamoto, I think our dogs have become very good friends. And this has been, oh, look at the handstand.
Oh, he's very good at handstand.
Don't worry, Mia.
Yes.
Look at Mia can't do it quite yet. But this has really been a blast. I really appreciate it.
Oh.
They're good friends. I did not teach her that, by the way. I just want you to know, so.
You probably don't know all the software.
No, I don't.
Yet,
I've only had the game for a couple of days, so I'm working on it.
Well, would you like me to show you a few more tricks?
Yeah, that would be great. I appreciate it.
Then please follow me.
Okay.
Backstage.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No problem. Mr. Miyamoto!
Bye, everyone.
Woo!
Thank you, Mr. Miyamoto, and thank you, Tina. Now, I said we had 2 more examples of the future of portable gaming for you today. And here's the second. Now, I know you haven't seen this. It's Game Boy Micro. Game Boy Micro, just a hair bigger and about 2/3 the weight of an iPod mini. But this little package plays every Game Boy Advance game you own. It is not new technology, but it is a brand new look. A new look in the sense that it has the best and brightest screen we've ever put in a handheld. A new look in the sense that no matter how tight your jeans, it'll still fit in your pocket. And a new look in the fact that you can customize it in any way you want with a wide array of faceplates. When it comes to market, this fall, Micro represents yet another morphing of the Game Boy brand, this time to the image-conscious consumer. It's not a successor to Game Boy Advance or Nintendo DS, but rather a further extension of portable play. If competitors don't like our 2-to-1 advantage, dominating market share with both SP and DS, well, I've got bad news, because we just made it 2.5-to-1. Micro means a new way to play Game Boy. Wi-Fi internet means a new way to play DS. But to repeat, at heart, we remain a content company. What's most important are the new games available to play on your Nintendo handhelds. New games just like these.
We gave you DS, a new Game Boy, and new games to play on them. And now you say, you want a revolution? Well, we've got one. This is a Nintendo Revolution prototype we have with us for meetings this week in Los Angeles. Clearly, Revolution is by far the smallest console we've ever manufactured. In its final form, it will be even smaller than this, about the size of 3 standard DVD cases stacked together. It will play either horizontally or vertically. These are the prototype colors we are thinking about. We haven't decided yet on a final choice. Maybe you and your readers would like to let us know what you think. Revolution games will play on 12-centimeter optical disc. These games, along with all GameCube software, will play through the same self-loading media drive. Owners can also choose a small internal attachment to play movies and other DVD contents. The system will contain 512 megabytes of onboard flash memory, as well as the option to add SD memory cards. We will also be incorporating our own digital rights management software to deter sharing of intellectual property. Beyond this, I want to be specific about the technology inside the housing. So I hope you let me create some elements of mystery to my further remarks today. Maybe we can look at this as a form of puzzle game. First, let me assure you there is no mystery to the development of our core technology. When you turn on Revolution and see the graphics, you will say, wow. Our partners, IBM and ATI, are working with us to assure this. But the advances in our technology will also relate to areas that have no direct bearing on gameplay. I know, this is one of those mysterious comments. Our competitors have taken time to detail the power of their core processor and their on-screen displays. Let me try to suggest the added benefit of our technical approach with Revolution. Every home game machine in history has married a controller to a console and a console to a TV. In the next generation, the addition of the internet will be important to all consoles and particularly important to Nintendo. Wi-Fi capability will be built into every Nintendo Revolution. How these four elements, controller, console, TV, and internet, interact with each other forms a central difference in Revolution design. Our goal in customizing these connections is to develop a device which is functional and appealing to every member of a household, whether they consider themselves gamers or not. It is right for everyone. I can confirm that all controllers for Revolution will be wireless using Broadcom technology. The controllers will also be very unique in ways we will share with you later. But I will tell you, we are already working on several Wi-Fi titles, each starring one of our key franchise characters. 1 or 2 Wi-Fi games will be ready for launch. And I am pushing our teams to make sure Smash Brothers is one of them. That way, no matter where Reggie is, I can always beat him. In fact, it is the game experience that will most separate Revolution from its competitors. So let me talk about other games for a few minutes. Of course, we all love what Mr. Miyamoto has created over the years. But for Revolution, he is challenging his team to create something brand new. His newest creation is set to debut with Revolution. What is that? I'm sorry, but Mr. Miyamoto is keeping quiet for now. Of course, it would be foolish to ignore the franchise we've already created, the best group of game stars in history. So you will certainly be seeing them on Revolution. Next generation versions of Mario and Zelda are already underway. We also have a big plan for Metroid in our Revolution, a franchise that has evolved constantly with each appearance. And with Revolution, Samus will take you places you've never gone before. The key here is not what you are playing, but how you will be playing. We expect that, much like Nintendogs and Electroplankton, Revolution will act to create entirely new genres to expand the definition of video game. To help us, key second-party developers who have been so important to game creation for Nintendo GameCube will provide exclusive content for Revolution. We expect strong third-party support in both hemispheres because we believe they will appreciate our creative approach. For example, Square Enix is already working on a Wi-Fi-enabled version of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for Revolution. On one hand, Revolution is the perfect home for video game masterpiece. Games that look beautiful, games that play flawlessly, masterpieces that connect you to the game's story like no system before. But not everyone sets out to create an expensive, time-consuming masterpiece. And here, Revolution also earned its name. We are convinced game creation on Revolution can be the most developer-friendly, simpler, faster, and less expensive than any other new system. In this next generation, development cost will commonly move well into 8 figures. Developers will become more endangered. For them, we offer a solution to help maximize creative freedom while controlling development investments. This is a console where the big idea can prevail over big budgets. Finally, I'd like to give you one full answer to a piece of the Revolution puzzle I've talked about previously, backward compatibility. As I said, the disk drive will accept GameCube games, but we are redefining the term backward compatibility. That's because we have designed Revolution to be a virtual console capable of downloading 20 years of Nintendo content. You will be able to purchase great games originally created for NES, Super NES, and Nintendo 64. It is accurate to say that Nintendo Revolution is technically capable of playing virtually every Nintendo console game ever created. The idea of a single device transporting us back to the first Excitebike, Earthbound, or Punch-Out should make us all feel young again, at least for a while. In the end, Nintendo Revolution shares a common vision with one we outlined for Nintendo DS last year. The machine is just a tool. The experience comes from the software. So let me conclude with one more hint. Those of you who consider the possibilities of combining embedded contents with an internet connection and wireless connection and our flash memory may begin to make educated guesses on what game experience we might be constructing. When it arrives next year, we intend for Revolution to fully serve the core gamers with new titles that fully meet their requirements. We will attract casual gamers better than anyone using consumer-friendly content, control, and interface. And we will even draw non-gamers to our Revolution, showing them how much fun there is in what we all do for a living. We call this all-access gaming. In short, more games, more players, more opportunities for developers, and more imagination in defining what a video game can be. It is my job to run a global company. But within my job, what still gives me the most satisfaction is seeing someone pick up a controller and finding surprise and delight. What touches their heart still touches my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, what Mr. Wada talked about are new game experiences for our next Nintendo console. But let's spend a couple minutes talking today about new console experiences coming this year. GameCube is now sold through to more than 10 million homes in North America alone. And they're enjoying a library of games that numbers more than 400, with another 60 new titles coming in 2005. Now, our approach has been consistent. Satisfy the core player and satisfy the casual player. We do that with exclusive content and by effectively leveraging the industry's greatest group of game franchises. So here's a quick tour of what's just ahead. In Battalion Wars for GameCube, we've combined action, strategy, warfare, and third-person shooting in a novel way. You must save the world by clearing over 20 missions, but guiding the troops has never been easier. By seamlessly blending action-oriented gameplay with real-time strategy, Battalion Wars lets you command entire squads at the touch of a button. Slip behind the wheel of a powerful tank, a helicopter, or a fighter jet, or show your foes the business end of a bazooka, a flamethrower, or a rocket launcher. Whatever your strategy, you've never experienced battlefield action like this before. Now, Pokemon returns to GameCube in a major way with the impending launch of Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. This game embarks on a whole new adventure, a full-fledged RPG. A dark and sinister plot sets a serious tone for this mega adventure. But that's just as it should be, because Pokemon is serious business, with over 140 million units sold worldwide, and the recent release of Pokemon Emerald heading straight to the top of the sales charts. Players can look forward to bringing their Emerald and other Game Boy Advance battles to the big screen in 3D by connecting to Pokemon XD when it launches in October. Capcom is delivering a game that developer Hiroyuki Kobayashi describes simply as blood, swearing, and mayhem. Killer 7 is unquestionably unique and mind-blowing. A storyline revolving around a main character with 7 personalities embedded in a graphical presentation that achieves the developer's dream of creating a work of postmodern art. And this year, we're not reducing the workload for the hardest working guy in the video game industry, Mario. Fresh from his starring performances on the golf links and the tennis court, Mario's taking on 4 new leading roles. First, he'll grab a glove and step onto the diamond in Mario Baseball. It's hitting and pitching with multiplayer elements for up to 4 competitors. Signature Mario action also moves on to the soccer pitch in Super Mario Strikers, where everything from his iconic shells to the roving chain chomps make this game of soccer unlike anything before. And Super Mario Strikers also features 4-player action. Well, with all these workouts, of course, nobody deserves a party more than Mario. So that's what we're giving him in Mario Party 7. What makes this game different from its predecessors is not just the more than 80 new mini-games, but a simultaneous 8-player mode, new uses for the microphone, and a couple of new playable characters. And of course, when that party's winding down, Mario can still dance the night away as he makes his premiere in Dance Dance. It's Dance Dance Revolution for Mario Mix. This franchise gets a brand new look with the characters and the backgrounds you know so well from Mario's universe. All told, this will be a banner year for Nintendo GameCube, so take a look. Thank you. Well, of course, we have saved the best for last. Once again, Link is ready to storm into the game world. No doubt he is part of your own personal game history and part of your gamer's soul. Now, over the years, he has changed his appearance, but he has never changed his nature. Today, prepare to see Link as you've never seen him before.
Please welcome the producer of the Zelda series and the director of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Mr. Eiji Aonuma.
Thank you. Since you like the video, I have a present for you. Cha-da-da-da. Can you see that? Yep. You will receive the video on the Nintendo DS card when you pick up your press kits. Please enjoy it, and thank you again.
As we said at the outset, it's about exploring. This year, not just Zelda, but wireless Mario Kart, Nintendogs, and a slick new way to show off your portable passion. Then, beyond this year, a revolution awaits. We look forward to seeing you on the show floor tomorrow, and be prepared to let your right brain run wild. Thank you.